Oldies 99.9. The Valley's greatest hits of all time. Oldies 99.9.
Shame on you. Shame. Little girl, can't you see that you're making me blue? You're the only one that knew what I had to say. You left me cold with nowhere else to stay. So come, little girl, come see what I have done. You're the only one who'll have to be on the run. So shame, little girl, is the game that you play. I'll see you today. I haven't missed you once since you've been away. Now I won the game and you have got the loss. You've wasted time and it will be at your cost. So shame, little girl, is the game that you play.
I asked my baby when I met her for a date and she said yes. I told my baby I'd come and get her and she gave me her address. Take the last exit to Brooklyn. Take the last exit to Brooklyn. I'll be there. I'll be there. And then they told me if she lived there, that didn't sound so very good. I wouldn't listen when they told me that's enough for neighborhood. Took the last exit to Brooklyn. Took the last exit to Brooklyn. She was there. She was there. Glad I didn't listen to my so-called friends uptown. Found myself a lost soul who never let me down. And the people are great. And the people are great. In any part of any city, you run into good and bad. And all I know is when I'm walking with my baby and I glide. Took the last exit to Brooklyn. Took the last exit to Brooklyn. She was there. She was there. Took the last exit
That is Lehigh Valley homegrown stuff. 1964. Taking the last exit to Brooklyn with Northampton's Pride and Joy of the 60s, the Scott Bedford Four. This is Rod Wolf on Oldies 99.9, WODE, and our Hall of Fame reunion show. Before that, it was the King's Ransom, 1967, with Shame. And I promised you some of the great Lehigh Valley groups and some of the homegrown rock and roll of the 60s. A couple of interesting groups there. The Scott Bedford Four, as I said, were from Northampton. And the King's Ransom, they recorded for the Integra record label, which was from the Lehigh Valley, of course, and owned by some local radio people, including Tiger Joe McLean, one of the most popular disc jockeys of all time here in the Lehigh Valley. If we take you back to some of the history of the Hall of Fame show, one of the most popular shows was the night we got a whole gang of the local groups in the studio. We interviewed a lot of the lead singers about the history of the groups. People like Barry Wright from the Morticians and Andy Zachar. He was Andy Starr of the Casinos back in the 50s and early 60s. We had Kit Stewart of the Kit Kats. They were not from the Lehigh Valley, but one of the most popular regional groups of all time. Had Lou Resch of Scott Bedford, who I mentioned a couple of minutes ago. From the King's Ransom, we interviewed Bob Dougherty. He was Doc, the lead singer of the King's Ransom. And we had Dale Schneck in. Dale at the time was with the Morning Call newspaper, but he was the manager of the Schillings back in the middle 1960s. It was just a great night. I've refrained thus far from name dropping on the Hall of Fame because I wanted the music to speak for itself tonight, because that's what the Hall of Fame was noted for. We just used to come in and crank it up, have a great time, and play song after song after song. But we're going to drop some names on you in the next 20 minutes or so as we salute some of the local groups. Now, I have edited some of the interviews we did back that night, and I picked out just 2 or 3 of them because these were some of the biggest regional hits of all time in the Lehigh Valley, and I'd like to play a couple of snippets of some of these interviews. One of the gentlemen we had in the studio with us that night was from Stroudsburg. His name was Bob Weidner, and he was the lead singer of a group called The Devils. And talk about a big, big regional hit. The Devils had one. And Bob Weidner talks about the history of the group.
Well, we had produced the record ourselves, and Capitol Records in Scranton did the pressing. And at the time that our second pressing was supposed to come out, they went on strike, so we weren't able to meet the demands of the Lehigh Valley. Gene Kay, who helped us a lot, hooked us up with some people at Cameo Records in Philadelphia, and we thought that if we inserted the names of some larger cities, it would give us more, expand our territory. So we went down and recorded about 9 different cities, I think. And when we got to do the show in Steel Pier that day, we had no idea which one they were going to play. And I remember my mother and a couple people telling me that our mouths would be singing, looking like we were singing one city, and a different city was coming out over the air.
It was one of the worst lip syncs I've ever
Really?
seen. You really had no idea they were going to play that version, right?
Right.
Also, rumor had it at the time that Cameo Parkway had Chubby Checker cut also a bunch of versions, and then I guess both yours and Chubby's got laid aside, and nothing really happened with any of them, right?
Yeah.
When you did Summertime at the Pier, the Beatles had been in the Atlantic City area, and you guys were on the boardwalk with your instruments and got chased by a bunch of girls. Is that true?
We had our, we were all dressed in dark suits at the time in our Beatle boots.
They thought you were the Beatles.
And a few ladies started chasing us up the street.
Those are things to remember.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what I remember. The Angels and the Devils at the Hub in Allentown, the YMYWCA.
That was one of the highlights of my career, I think. That same night, Gene Kay brought us to Allentown, and we did 3 jobs in one night. I can't remember the other 2 places, but I think there were dances, and
Probably Notre Dame Bandstand.
that was
maybe
one,
yeah.
I think, yeah. We showed up, we set up all our equipment and played some songs, tore down, put our stuff in the cars, and raced to the next job, and ended with the, what was it called, the Hub?
The Hub.
The Y.
Yeah, the YMYWCA. It was one of the biggest dances every weekend in Allentown. And I remember the night, the Angels and the Devils. It was a great night.
It was packed. It was,
Oh, yeah. Wall-to-wall kids.
Do the devil dance. Devil dance. Do the devil dance. Devil dance. If you want romance. Devil dance. Do the devil dance. Devil dance. If you don't know how to do it, we'll show you how to do the devil dance. Devil dance. Hey there, Scranton. What you gonna do?
Hey, they gonna do a little dance for you.
Yeah, but they can't dance.
Ah, the heck they can't. Watch 'em go, Daddy. Do the devil dance.
Devil dance,
Do the devil dance.
devil dance,
Woo! Shake your feet, honey.
devil dance,
Ah, get with the beat.
devil dance,
If you don't know how to do devil dance. Devil dance. And, hey there, Stroudsburg, what are you going to do?
Hey, those chopper chicks are gonna do a dance for you.
Yeah, but they can't dance.
Ah, the heck they can't. Watch them go, Daddy.
Uh-oh.
Do the devil dance.
Devil dance,
Do the devil dance.
devil dance,
Ah, shake anything you want to, baby. Do the devil dance.
devil dance.
If you don't know how to do it, we'll show you how to do the devil dance. Here we go. Hey there, Allentown, what you gonna do?
Hey, hey, they gonna do a little dance for you.
Yeah, but they can't dance.
Ah, the heck they can't. Watch them go, Daddy. Do the devil dance.
Devil dance,
Do the devil dance.
devil dance,
Shake your feet, honey.
devil dance,
Ah, get with the beat.
devil dance.
If you don't know how to do it, we'll show you how to do the devil dance. Come on, come on.
On the Devlet record label. One of the biggest regional hits of all time in the Lehigh Valley. Those are the Devils and the Devil Dance. This is Rod Wolf on Oldies 99.9 WODE, the reunion of the Sunday Night Hall of Fame show. And that was the lead singer of the Devils, Bob Weidner. I've got another interview here with a group that was from the Hazleton area, and you talk about a monster regional hit. This song is still a collector's item. It's very typical of the garage-style rock and roll that's so collectible these days. It was on two different record labels. It was on Samron, which was a Hazleton area record label, and it became such a big regional hit that Warner Brothers picked it up. So you may find this one in some of the flea markets and things if you still collect the old 45s like I do. You'll find it on a couple of different labels. This is a classic. And we'd like to welcome our next guest tonight, Richie Molinaro of the Hazleton area. Rich, how you doing tonight?
Great, just great.
I'm glad you could make it.
Well, we're sure having a good time, just reminiscing with these fellas.
I know, we've got a great crowd tonight, don't we?
We sure do.
Richie, years ago, was known as Ognir.
Right. The strangest name in music.
Yes, it
Ognir
was.
of Nite People.
And for those of you uninformed about such things, Ognir was
Ringo spelled backwards.
Ringo
In the
spelled.
day of the early Beatles.
Yes, because we're talking 1964 and 5, right?
That's correct.
Tell me, who were the members of Ognir and the Nite People?
Well, of course, I sang a lead on the record. Tommy Marusak was keyboards. Gino Andruzzi was a guitar player, and Skip Naring lead guitar. And Mickey McMinimum was the drummer.
The record everyone will always remember Ognir and the Nite People for was released in 1965 on a Samron Records. That was from what, the Hazleton area?
Yes, local businessmen produced the record for us.
Do you remember where it was recorded?
We recorded at Bell Sound in New York.
Oh, you did do it in
The
New
day
York?
we walked in, Trini Lopez was walking out, and we near fainted.
Really?
Yeah.
And today you'd probably pass him on the street and say, who said it?
Right.
I know you sold a gang of records. Do you remember how many were sold?
I believe, Ron, it was in the vicinity of 40,000.
That many?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I know it was big enough for Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers, as soon as they saw the noise the record was making, they picked it up. We never realized the impact we were having throughout the region until we went and performed in different areas. And I can remember coming down and playing different record hops and so forth. And as far as we knew, we were just 5 guys, local kids from Hazleton. But boy, when we came to different areas, I mean, there was people, thousands of kids waiting for us, police escorts and, people from the press. And we couldn't believe it. It was amazing.
Didn't a lot of that have to do with your reputation, though? You guys were a visual act.
Oh, yeah. We were a very visual group.
Is it true you used to wear chains?
Well, we had a drummer who was the original maniac. It's a fella. It's from the Muppets.
Animal.
Animal. This was the original Animal.
Yeah.
He wore chains. Yes.
After Warner Brothers picked you up, you played with a lot of national stars, didn't you?
Yes, we did. We performed with the McCoys and Aretha Franklin, the Letterman, a lot of really big name groups and stars. I remember Aretha Franklin. We played on a TV show, and we sat alongside her, and she played the piano for us before the show went on, and she played Satisfaction on the piano. I can remember sitting with her and meeting her.
It's great.
Yeah.
I wish this was television. Richie brought a beautiful scrapbook along. What is this?
This is Ognir and the Nite People. When we were playing around all over the place, somebody came up with the idea to have an Ognir burger. So it was the forerunner of the Big Mac.
The Ognir Burger. What was the name of this place? As terrific as the Nite People on Hazleton McAdoo Highway.
Right.
You got some great clips here.
Right. Down at the Allentown Fair, Battle of the Bands, various clubs that we played throughout the area. And Hazleton Drive-In. I think we were the first band to ever play at a drive-in theater, at an outside drive-in theater.
In between the features?
Right before the features began. So.
People on the Sunday Night Hall of Fame reunion in Oldies 99.9. I found a new love. That was Richie Molinaro, who was Ognir, as we relive some of the Lehigh Valley's greatest hits.
The Valley's greatest hit of all time. Oldies 99.9.